two machines built in the 1970s have traveled farther than anything humans have ever made. They visited every giant planet, took the most distant photograph of Earth in history, and then left the solar system entirely. And one of them is still calling home. In 1964, a Caltech graduate student named Gary Flandro, working at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, made a calculation that changed the course of spaceflight. He discovered that in the late 1970s, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune would align in a rare geometric arc, a planetary configuration that occurs only once every 175 years. Flandro realized that a spacecraft launched during this precise window could exploit a series of gravity assists, swinging from planet to planet to gain speed while saving decades of travel time. It was the birth of the Grand Tour, an ambitious NASA plan to send highly sophisticated spacecraft to all four outer worlds. But this grand ambition quickly collided with political reality. In the early 1970s, the Senate Aeronautical and Space Sciences Committee slashed NASA's budget. By 1971, under intense congressional pressure, the multi-billion-dollar Grand Tour was officially canceled. Unwilling to let a once-in-a-century opportunity slip away, engineers at JPL designed a clever compromise. They proposed a scaled-down, cheaper project called Mariner Jupiter-Saturn, later renamed Voyager. Officially, the twin probes were only funded to visit Jupiter and Saturn, but behind closed doors, engineers quietly built the spacecraft with the advanced tracking systems and trajectory paths needed to go much further. They preserved Flandro's dream, ensuring that if the initial flyby succeeded, the path to Uranus, Neptune, and the stars would still be open. On August 20th, 1977, the heavy-lift Titan III E-Centaur rocket roared to life at Cape Canaveral, carrying Voyager 2 into the Florida sky. It was sent first, set on a slower, longer trajectory designed to preserve the option of visiting all giant planets. 16 days later, on September 5th, Voyager 1 launched on a faster, high-energy path, but its ascent almost ended in disaster. The booster's second stage LR-91 engine shut down prematurely, leaving hundreds of pounds of unburned propellant. To compensate, the Centaur upper stage burned longer, consuming its fuel to within 3.5 seconds of total exhaustion before safely reaching escape velocity. With both probes successfully in space, their race began. Voyager 1's speed advantage quickly became apparent. On December 15, 1977, while both spacecraft were still traversing the asteroid belt, the faster Voyager 1 overtook its twin. The two robotic explorers were now separated, each flying toward its own distinct destiny in the outer solar system. In March 1979, Voyager 1 arrived at Jupiter, delivering the mission's first massive scientific triumph. The spacecraft beamed back 19,277 images, revealing a giant planet of unexpected complexity. Among these photos, the navigation team identified a faint, dusty ring system encircling the gas giant, a feature previously invisible from Earth. But the most startling discoveries lay among the moons. While analyzing optical navigation data, engineer Linda Morabito noticed a massive glowing plume rising from the edge of Io, revealing active volcanic eruptions, the first volcanoes ever seen beyond Earth. Just beyond, Voyager 1 captured Europa, a world encased in smooth, fractured ice. The web of dark lines cutting across its brilliant white surface suggested something revolutionary, a vast liquid ocean hidden beneath the frozen crust. With these discoveries, the massive gamble of the mission was instantly vindicated, proving that the outer solar system was far more active than anyone had imagined. This remote robotic outpost had completely rewritten the textbooks, transforming quiet points of light into living, evolving worlds. In November 1980, Voyager 1 reached Saturn, revealing a dense maze of thousands of delicate ringlets instead of the simple bands seen from Earth. Yet the primary focus of the mission was Titan, the only moon in the solar system known to possess a thick atmosphere. This encounter was an all-or-nothing gamble. If Voyager 1's instruments failed to analyze this orange world, engineers would be forced to redirect Voyager 2 to Titan as a backup. That emergency maneuver would consume the second probe's fuel, killing any chance of visiting Uranus or Neptune. At JPL, engineers watched the telemetry, knowing the future of the entire project rested on a single flyby. On November 12th, Voyager 1 swept just 1,600 kilometers above Titan's surface, capturing the atmospheric data and proving the gamble had paid off. But the encounter demanded a steep price. Titan's gravity acted as a slingshot, bending Voyager 1's path sharply northward, throwing it forever out of the plane of the planets. Its planetary encounters were finished. As Voyager 2 remained free to continue its flight to the outer worlds, Voyager 1 began its long, quiet ascent into the cold space above our solar system. On February 14, 1990, nearly a decade into its lonely ascent, Voyager 1 turned its cameras back toward home one final time. From a distance of 6 billion kilometers, Earth appeared as nothing more than a single pale blue pixel suspended in a scattered beam of sunlight. Carl Sagan called this fragile speck a portrait of every human who has ever lived. To conserve the spacecraft's fading nuclear power for its remaining instruments, engineers shut down the cameras forever afterward, leaving Voyager to continue its flight into the silent dark. While its twin climbed into the northern sky, Voyager 2 traveled alone toward the unexplored outer limits of our solar system. On January 24, 1986, it reached Uranus, remaining to this day the only spacecraft to visit the pale green ice giant. Voyager 2 revealed a world tipped 98 degrees on its side, spinning horizontally, the likely survivor of a colossal ancient impact. 3 years later, in August 1989, the probe arrived at Neptune, skimming just 5,000 kilometers above its northern pole to measure its fierce, supersonic winds. Here, it photographed Triton, a captured world orbiting backward in a retrograde path. Triton's frozen surface surprised scientists with active geysers spewing icy nitrogen gas high into the thin, freezing atmosphere. With the completion of this final planetary flyby, humanity had successfully visited every major world in the solar system. Voyager 2's primary mission was over, and its long, quiet drift into the interstellar dark began. Our sun rules over a giant, invisible domain. Its stream of charged particles, the solar wind, blows outward in all directions, carving a protective bubble in the cosmos known as the heliosphere. Past this boundary lies the interstellar medium, the cold, untamed space between the stars. On August 25, 2012, Voyager 1 crossed this threshold, slipping into the cosmic ocean as the first human-made object in history to leave the sun's embrace. 6 years later, on November 5, 2018, Voyager 2 crossed the same invisible shoreline, joining its twin in the dark. Voyager 1 now drifts more than 25 billion kilometers from Earth, its radio signals taking nearly a full day to cross the void. Inside both probes, decaying plutonium power drops by about 4 watts each year, forcing engineers to shut down instruments one by one. Within a few years, after half a century of operation, both will fall completely silent. Yet their drifting frames will endure. In about 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will pass near another star, while Voyager 2 approaches Ross 248 2,000 years later. Orbiting the galactic center for hundreds of millions of years, each carries a gold-plated record containing greetings in 55 languages, music, and a pulsar map. Long after Earth changes, these silent messengers may remain the last proof we ever existed. As their final whispers fade, the Voyagers drift on as our most enduring monument. Long after our civilization falls silent, these tiny vessels will carry the memory of everyone who ever lived into the cosmic deep. They are our eternal message to the universe. Subscribe for more space journeys.